Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, boy do I have some technical analysis to bring you, because in today's video, we are going to be talking about the halving, golden crosses, Bitcoin stock to flow ratio, the hash rate on Bitcoin. We're going to be talking about a plethora of different technical and fundamental indicators on Bitcoin to try and come to a conclusion on where Bitcoin is heading over the next couple of weeks. Guys, the last 2 months on Bitcoin, disregarding that 150% crash day, have been extremely bullish on Bitcoin, actually. In fact, in the last 7 weeks, Bitcoin has rallied 120%. And in that time, Bitcoin has smashed resistance after resistance after resistance. We have outperformed the Dow Jones, the SPY, oil, gold, platinum, real estate, stock market, anything. Bitcoin has outperformed them all. Bitcoin was built, designed, and coded to take advantage of times like these. Bitcoin was first mined on January 3rd, 2009. Following the last financial crisis, it was designed with these times in mind, and the technicals and the fundamentals are lining up to prove just that. And in today's video, we're going to be analyzing all of them. If you want to learn more about our favorite cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, I highly encourage you to continue watching this video, because this is going to be a good one, and you are going to learn something. I learned things researching for this video, so you're definitely going to. And guys, in the spirit of learning, that is why we founded the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy nearly 2 years ago now. I can't believe that much time has passed. If you guys are interested in learning about technical analysis so you can make the most of the amazing opportunity that we're looking at, Bitcoin rallied 120% in the last 45 days. Did you take advantage of it? If not, it's because you need a better understanding of technical analysis. You can learn technical analysis at the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy with the coupon code right over there. But without much further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Heck yeah. You know, we never released the Area 51 video, but if you guys want, we can go ahead and release the unfinished version, or we can just go ahead and try and finish it. I know you guys want to see that. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I love this coin. It's been sitting on my desk for like 6 months now. Perfect. Let's jump onto the chart. Guys, the reason that we're talking about the week of May the 18th, we're just going to go ahead and lay it out. I'm not going to, make you wait until 12 minutes into the video to explain the title. The reason that we're talking about the week of May the 18th would be because of these two lines right here. As you can see, I've gone ahead and extrapolated out the 50 daily simple moving average and the 200 daily simple moving average to try and come to some kind of idea of where these two moving averages are going to cross. Now look at me. Look at me, okay? You looking? Okay, look, I understand. You can't just extrapolate moving averages with trend lines because they don't move in a straight fashion. Do you see this right here? That's called a curve. Moving averages curve. I understand that. But I also understand the way that the market's been moving over the last 2 weeks, and I also understand the way moving averages are calculated, and it seems to me like these moving averages are more or less going to continue on the path that they're going on, and nevertheless, this is a rough estimate. The point of this is to try and come to some kind of understanding about when our golden cross is going to happen, because we're also talking about the halving in today's video, and timing matters. So when is the golden cross going to happen between the 50 and the 200, just as we predicted 2 months ago? Let me go ahead and pat myself on the back for that one. You guys don't get the self-aggrandizing jokes. Sometimes you just think I'm full of myself. I'm really not. I just think it's funny. But nevertheless, we did mention this cross right here about the 20 crossing the 50. And by the way, the 20 just crossed the 200 also, which is step 2 in the golden cross trio. You have the golden cross between the 20 and the 50, then the golden cross between the 20 and the 200, then you have the 50 cross the 200. That is always the order that it happens in, and the fact that we've seen the second one indicates that we're definitely going to see the third cross, that being the golden cross that everybody gets hyped up about. So where is that going to happen? Well, if we extrapolate out our 50 and our 200, the 200 probably isn't going to change all that much, but the 50 definitely could. We could see a golden cross happen right around the halving on May the 12th or so if Bitcoin decides just to explode over the next couple of days, or it could drag all the way out into late May. Point is, in the next week to 3 weeks, we're going to see a golden cross on Bitcoin more than likely. One thing to note is that as the 50 gets closer to our current price level, it is going to taper off and flatten out some, so we are going to see more of a cross like that than just a straight-up moving average moving like a trend line. I understand that. But May the 18th, somewhere around there, is going to be big, and the timing on this is very interesting, guys, because it means we're having a golden cross immediately following a halving event. As you guys know, the halving is coming up in 6.5 days. We've been saying it was on May the 12th for a few weeks now, and we're almost certain of that at this point. We are going to see the halving early in the morning UTC on May the 12th. What that means is that we have exactly 6 days before that halving event takes place. So what's going to happen when it comes? First of all, let's go over some fundamentals. There are two of them in particular. Number one, all of the people that are mining Bitcoin right now are more than likely going to be sitting on their Bitcoin and not selling them, especially after the halving comes, because their profitability is going to be cut in half. So the way that they're going to have to make up for that to keep themselves solvent and not going bankrupt with all those miners that they're sitting on is either get cheaper electricity, which is kind of difficult, or hold on to the Bitcoin until Bitcoin's price goes higher. When a halving event takes place, it incentivizes the miners to become hodlers. What that does is it takes circulating supply out of the ecosystem, allowing the inflation of the price, but not the currency. Does that make sense? It's a deflationary currency, which causes the price to inflate. You're not deflating the currency in the same way that inflation of the US dollar deflates the value of the US dollar. We're deflating the currency to inflate the value of Bitcoin. That is very important. And a lot of people ask me, Jeb, why does the halving event cause bullishness on the long term for Bitcoin? That doesn't make a lot of sense. It's partially because of that. Another reason has to do with this. This is the total hash rate on Bitcoin's network. And as you can see, over the last little while, we've had a massive spike in terahashes. Now, you might be thinking, oh, was this spike right here, 2017? Was this where Bitcoin hit 20,000? No, guys. Bitcoin hit $20,000 all-time high back here in December of 2017, when we were sitting at around 12.5 million, 13 million terahashes. Now we're sitting at 120 million. What does that mean? That means that a massive fundamental bull run has been going on for the last 2.5 years since we hit all-time high, and no one's really talking about it. We're going to be making a dedicated video on that coming up pretty soon. But what that also means is that the network is far more secure now than it was in 2017, and the network was relatively secure in 2017. It also means that the difficulty is shot through the moon, which means that ASICs have to be more efficient to actually mine the Bitcoin and be profitable. But it also means, since there's so much extra hash rate, that the economy surrounding the mining industry is much larger than it ever has been. There are more miners switched on right now than there have been in the entire history of the cryptocurrency space, and that speaks to fundamental development of the infrastructure needed to cause and drive mass adoption of Bitcoin. I need you guys to understand something. We're not bullish on Bitcoin for no reason. We're not just bullish on Bitcoin based on hope and FOMO and hype. We're not bullish on Bitcoin for those reasons. Those are great, but they're not the main reason that we're excited about Bitcoin. We're excited about Bitcoin because of statistics, because of history, and because of the fundamentals and technicals that we have in front of us and what they tell us. And they tell us very good things for the coming years. So what we're seeing is a double whammy. We're seeing a golden cross coming in relatively soon. We're seeing the hash rate mooning. We're seeing the miners all turning into hodlers until prices go higher because they're going to be unprofitable the second this halving goes through. And by the way, in case you forgot, stock to flow is about to explode. This line that we always talk about on stock to flow, that's a 365-day line. There's also a 10-day line, which means that the stock to flow for Bitcoin actually jumps up to almost exactly 90,000 14 days from now, if you want to look at it that way. It just so happens that a 365-day stock to flow seems to model Bitcoin more accurately, but technically the stock to flow ratio on Bitcoin massively increases by an order of magnitude the second the halving goes through. But guys, I need you to understand something. Stock to flow, Bitcoin hash rate, Bitcoin difficulty, the number of miners in the space, miners becoming hodlers, those are all long-term fundamental bullish factors for Bitcoin. There's only really one bullish technical that we've talked about today, and that would be the golden cross that we're going to see come relatively soon. That's bullish for two reasons. One, golden crosses almost always lead to bull markets. Two, it's going to drive a lot of attention here on YouTube, and that's going to drive more interest into the space. It couldn't be coming at a better time, to be totally honest with you. But you have to understand, I'm not even necessarily talking about this month, this quarter, this year, next year, the year after. Someone in the comments mentioned Warren Buffett and said Warren Buffett got rich by buying companies and holding them for 50 years. And people in the cryptocurrency market go crazy if they think they have to hold something for 18 months. I think patience and delayed gratification are two lessons that this space and our entire generation need to relearn, because it's what's going to make you wealthy. I've never once in my entire cryptocurrency investing career sold Bitcoin into US dollars and gone and done something with it. I've cashed out into US dollars to buy Bitcoin back, but I have never taken money that I put into the space out of the space. I have been here for 3 years. I'm 19 years old, so that is, I just did the math, 16% of my entire life. The money that I've had in Bitcoin has stayed in Bitcoin and only gotten higher. Are you planning on holding for a day, a week, a month, or a year? Are you planning on investing or day trading? Are you planning on holding and putting a fund back for yourself for the future, or are you planning on swing trading? Which is it? There's nothing necessarily wrong with either one, but I do want you guys to make sure you're having something in your investing portfolio. That's where money comes from. Where is your patience? And some of you I'm not talking to. Some of you have this, but some of you guys do need to hear this because it is very important. The bullish fundamentals for Bitcoin are here. Bitcoin is a deflationary currency. All the fiat currencies in the world are inflationary because they're not based on anything. I am not one of the crypto YouTubers or one of the people in the economic space that are saying that the entire world is going to collapse and burn in the next 10 or 15 years. I'm not saying this recession is going to be the end of the US dollar. I am not trying to hype you guys up and scare you and make you think Armageddon is coming and China's going to call all our debt and then there's going to be World War III. Maybe, I don't know, but that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to spread fear, I'm here to spread facts. And the fact of the matter is there are problems with the global banking system, with the current financial institutions. Yes, they have had many great advances. Every time a crisis happens, things seem to get better. There's not a lot of subprime mortgages going on anymore. The same issues that led to the 1929 Black Tuesday crash are not still necessarily in play. We have learned our lessons on many things, but we do still have many more lessons to learn, and I think Bitcoin can definitely help in that. So at the end of the day, what's going to happen to Bitcoin? Whether or not we pull back to the 200 daily moving average, or whether or not we rally to $9,500, $10,000 over the next week before the halving, quite frankly, I could not care less because I don't plan on selling anytime soon. I've always told you guys, unless you're willing to take the money that you're investing and take it into the backyard and set it on fire. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So, you see this? You see this? Unless you're willing to do this, you see that? I'm not going to do it because I'm not an idiot, but unless you'd be willing to do that with this $200, it has no place in Bitcoin. I could set this $200 on fire, not that I would do that because that would be a felony and I'm not an idiot, but I could do it in theory and I would still be able to pay rent. I would still be able to shop for groceries. I would still be able to fix my car if it breaks down. Before you invest any money in Bitcoin, are you able to do that? Are you able to set the money on fire and then be fine with your current lifestyle? If not, then it has no place in investments. And the reason I'm saying that is because a lot of people are so caught up on what's going to happen over the next 7 days because they're worried that Bitcoin is going to crash, and the reason they're worried is because they invested too much. You need to have skin in the game, but take the wisdom. You don't need to have too much skin in the game. That is very much a possibility. Some crypto YouTubers talk about how they have 60, 70, 80, 90% of their net worth in Bitcoin, and that's all well and good if that's the kind of life you want to live. I don't choose to live that. I have like 10 to 15, 20% of my net worth in Bitcoin. The rest is in cash to work on my business because I care about safety more than returns. I know that Bitcoin's going to bring the returns. I have faith in that. I don't need to have stupidly high risk and then just bring the reward up a little bit. I'd rather keep the reward where it is and bring the risk down. So guys, I understand there's not a lot of technical analysis going on in this video, but I hope you are learning something here because it's really important how you approach this market, how you look at it for the long term, the fundamentals that you're looking at, not just the short-term technicals. I guess the theme of this video is to stop paying so close attention to what happens in the next 5 days and pay attention to what happens in the next 5 years. Where do the fundamentals say Bitcoin is going? Let me do this for you. One thing I like doing when I have this kind of identity crisis and I'm like, Jeb, you haven't done enough in your life. You ought to be farther ahead. You ought to have done more. You ought to be worth more money, or you ought to be more successful. You ought to have more subscribers. Because that happens to me a lot. And I know a lot of you guys are going to say, Jeb, you're 19. I wish I was there when you were 19. I really appreciate that. I'm very flattered by that, but I know I could have done better and it irks me. So what I do to fix that is I think, gee, where was I 3 years ago? Gee, where was I 5 years ago? What was I doing 5 years ago? Was I as good at life as I am now 5 years ago, 3 years ago? The answer is an overwhelming no. I was not as good at life, to put it in the most general context I can for the sake of making a point, as I am today. I'm smarter, stronger, more disciplined, more faithful than I ever have been in my entire life, and I'm happy about that. Do the same thing for your life and do the same thing for Bitcoin. Where was Bitcoin 5 years ago? Well, 5 times 365 is 1825. So 1,825 days ago, where was Bitcoin? Oh, look at that. Bitcoin was trading at $200. I bet less than 5% of you 5 years ago had ever even heard of Bitcoin. Now it's getting on mainstream media's radar and has been for the last 2 years. Stop thinking short term. There are people 3 times my age and they can't think longer than 2 minutes into the future. I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back, guys. I'm really not. I'm saying it to make a point. You need to think about the long, distant future. You don't need to be thinking about what happens 2 days from now. If there's a crisis, deal with it. I'm not saying that. You got to deal with the problems at hand. But for the sake of investing, you need to be able to have that ability to have delayed gratification gratification. You need to be able to think long distance into the future. You need to be able to look at the fundamentals and the technicals and say, where is this project heading? Am I safe if I just buy and hold? Because let me tell you something, if you had bought at $200 over the last 2 years that Bitcoin's been pulling back from $20,000, it wouldn't have mattered, because you'd still be at over 100% return. In fact, you'd be at nearly 1,000% return just about anywhere. So pay attention to long-term fundamentals, guys. That's the entire point of this video. The week of May the 18th is going to be great. A bull market is coming. Yes, I understand those things. That's why I put them in the title. I wanted you guys to understand that. But that was kind of a cursory thing to lead into the main point of this video, and that is long-term thinking. So guys, I hope you did get some good value out of this video. I hope you did learn something from all the technicals that we looked at today. And I hope you do smash that like and subscribe button, because it really does help out the channel when you do that. See what I did there? Guys, that is pretty much going to wrap out this video. Before I go, though, I'm just going to sit here and play with fire. It doesn't want to turn on. There we go. I've always wanted to do that. Anyway, seriously, before I go, though, guys, if you did enjoy today's video, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It really does help out the channel when you do that. Before I go, though, I do just first want to mention the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, and the reason I do is because CT2A is what allows this channel to continue to be possible, and I know that it will help you, because we've had almost 1,500 students go through it now, and they're always telling me every single day how much CT2A has helped them. You can go back on the comments of the last 3 or 4 videos and see what they're saying. There are people posting down there. Max posted something yesterday. Hi, Max. By the way, let me show you this. Max, the guy who commented on yesterday's video saying CT2A was so great, just so that you know he's a real person, he 3D printed my old logo. Yeah, these people are real, guys. I'm not making up these testimonies. I went and met him just south of I-10. We met in person. It's pretty cool. In fact, if I had his permission, I'd throw a picture of us meeting up on screen, but I don't, so I'm not going to. In yesterday's video, he said, highly recommend the course, which he has said under several videos. So thank you, Max. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying. Guys, as I said, every single weekday of this month, there is going to be a new video going out in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, and I'm checking right now to see which one it's going to be today. Looks like our video on intuition is going to be going out today, that being gut feeling. This is one of the most important concepts in technical analysis, guys. It really is, and you're not going to learn it anywhere else. People always say, oh, you can learn this stuff on Google. You can't learn this on Google. I've never seen anyone else talk about this. Full stop. I've never seen anyone else talk about this. That video is being updated today, is called Intuition, and for everyone who is in CT2A currently, that is going to be available to you for absolutely free. There are no extra charges. You join CT2A, you're going to get it forever, and it is going to help you learn how to trade and invest and do technical analysis on cryptocurrency markets. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to email us at cryptojeb@gmail.com, and if you're interested in joining, you can use the May the 4th coupon code right over to my left. It's right on the screen, but it's to my left. Guys, I want to wrap this video out with something, because this logo just reminded me. Many of you guys who are new here, you might not recognize this logo. The reason for that is a friend of mine named Alex designed this in about 5 minutes back when we had started the YouTube channel, because I needed a logo. We had like 10 subscribers, and I was telling him about how I needed to find someone to make a logo for me. He's like, oh, I can do it real quick. So he went ahead and did it, and as you can see, it's still the logo for our Discord server, because I wanted to keep it for nostalgia. Guys, in 2.5 years, we went from having a logo design that took 5 minutes, and albeit it was a very good logo. Good on you, Alex. I loved it. But we went from that level to being able to pay someone professionally to design all the graphical content on the channel. We have an employee. We have this studio. I've got sound panels, lighting, camera equipment, microphones, all kinds of recording equipment in here. All these things. I mean, I don't care about the material. I don't care about this stuff. Honestly, it's paper. I don't care. I care more about the fact that we've managed to build something that we can be proud of here. And I'm really excited about that, because I've also been able to share it with nearly 35,000 of you guys now, which is remarkable. And that's why I love this so much, even though just after he printed it, we updated our logo. We were literally in the process of getting it designed when he 3D printed this. But it reminds me of where we came from, and it reminds me of where we want to be going. And that's the point of these videos, is to remind you guys that there is something to fight for here in cryptocurrency. If you want a better life, you can get it. You got to work for it, though. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. I've never said in one video or in one piece of the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, for example, that it's going to be easy. It will be hard, but nothing worth fighting for is ever easy, is it? There's a reason that people think that certain people on the internet are scammers, and that's because they're trying to sell you a get-rich-quick scheme. They're trying to say it's going to be easier than it is, and you can tell they're lying because you understand real life. It's not easy. It's going to take time. It might happen faster than you think, but it is going to take work. Have faith in the process, because I have. And it's changed my life. I know it can change yours too. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap it out for today's video. But as always, before I go, I do first just want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.